I don't have time is a universal response that the majority of us give to ourselves and to others. Unfortunately, it is a response we give when faced with a challenging or important task that will do a lot of good to us. In many situations wherein you hear this statement, especially in relation to the matters of faith and the spiritual life, something else is intended by the one who utters it. In the majority of cases, it is another way of saying, I don't care, it is not important for me, or I didn't plan for that. If you have ever uttered this statement, then this video is meant for you. Hello friends, welcome to Pills of Faith and Liberty with Shishima Desma. In her previous video, we considered the importance of having a solid faith life and nurturing one's faith. For this to happen, we all need some God time. In this video, we will consider the importance of having some God time and practical ways of managing and maximizing time. I will leave a link to the previous video in the description below. If you have not watched it, I encourage you to go do so. We all know the famous words of the biblical Genesis: God created heaven and earth. Without God's creation, it will be impossible to talk about time. Time is therefore one of God's most precious gifts to us. We often say all we have is God's gift to us, and what we make of all that we have is our gifts to God. This maxim is even true when we talk about time. We can therefore affirm that time is God's gift to us, and what we make of our time is our gift to God. If we are conscious of this reality, then we will be mindful of the use that we make of our time. Sadly, the majority of people tend to be selfish with their time and want to use it solely for the things that are of immediate economic value to them, or things that they consider to be fun. I personally think that it is not as if we don't have a longing for the things of God, or we don't want to create some God time, but we fail to include God in our schedule. Let us consider 5 ways through which we can maximize time in order to carve out some God time. Make a list of your goals and work towards achieving them. Make sure they are realistic and attainable. Prioritize your tasks. Divide them into 4 parts: urgent and important task, not urgent but important task, urgent but not so important task, not urgent and unimportant task. This classification helps you to know and spend time for what is of greater importance to you. Learn to delegate certain responsibilities to others around you so you can focus on the most important ones which have to be done by you, one of which includes finding some God time. Finding some time to pray, time to meditate, time to attend church activities, and so on. Say no to multitasking, reading while listening to music, cooking while watching the television. This helps you to focus on the task at hand and get it done within the time frame you've allotted for it. There are certain spiritual practices that are important for building up your relationship with God, like attending Mass, saying your morning and evening prayers, on the top of the list of your urgent and important tasks. God merits this position because all that you do here on earth should be a preparation for the afterlife. And if you don't have some time here on earth for God, you may miss Him in the afterlife. I recently visited my ex-philosophy professor, Dr. Damian Ilodigwe. He handed me a draft of a book he had just finished writing, and I was captivated by the phrase, "The use of time is what distinguishes two individuals." This in fact became the motivation for this video. This statement in reality is true in the life of the saints. Thus, we can define the saints as those individuals who use their time in the service of God and neighbor. Having some God time allowed the saints to accomplish great marvels. Look at St. Jerome, who translated the Latin Bible and wrote many theological works that influenced the early Middle Ages. Look at Blessed James Alberione, the marvel of our time, who founded and managed 9 religious institutes and 1 lay organization. They all had 24 hours a day like we do today, but they were masters of time. The time they dedicated to God helped them to achieve greater things in their lives. Having some God time, therefore, is not a rip-off. It won't hinder you from achieving your goals. Rather, it will help you to reach greater heights. Use your time well, invest in your eternity. If you are not able to manage your time well, you will not be able to manage anything else in your life, including your eternity. Hit on the subscribe button so you don't miss out each time I publish new content. See you in the next video.